Don't you already make a lot of car guy videos? Surely you've exhausted all types. Well, I've been saving this one because holy crap, let me tell you, it's gonna be quite the ride for this video. Anyways, prepare yourself for a very serious guide to car guys. Potential. My Civic can't beat you right now, but if I were to twin turbo it and LS swap it, then yeah, I could beat you. I could engine swap it. I could twin turbo it. I could. No one cares about what you could have done, we care about what you've already done. Imagine going to apply for a job and having a resume that says, I could have gotten a degree, I could have met your qualifications. No, they want to know things you've already achieved. That's why they're gonna hire you, not a little IOU. It's the same in the car community. You can't be like, I could beat you, I could. I despise people who talk like that or constantly use the, if I modded my car to the moon, then it could beat yours. But you could literally use that argument for any car in the world. There's that Hellcat swapped Prius. We can even make smart cars fast too. Every car can become fast with enough modifications and especially with engine swapping. However, it is only until you actually have done those mods does any of that hidden potential actually come to fruition. And I wouldn't really even call it hidden potential because by the time you're engine swapping, you're not even unveiling your vehicle's hidden potential. You've just changed the car essentially. People who build fast cars aren't the same as the one who constantly tout potential from their car. Most wannabe potential owners usually use successful examples as an excuse to win arguments. Just because someone else's built Civic is faster than a 1,000 horsepower Mustang doesn't mean your bone stock one is, so put up or shut up. Fake it till you make it. These guys are like potential, but somehow worse. Instead of bragging about their econo box being able to dominate the world, they just secretly pretend that they have some insane beast in their garage. Oh, well, why don't you bring it out to car meets then? Well, obviously because they don't own it. They've always got an excuse of it being in the shop, their wife using it, or somehow being halfway across the world in Peru. These guys just hate having the worst car to meet, so they want to pretend that they have this super secret power fantasy above others instead of just, owning up to what they have. It's an annoying trope in television and even more annoying in real life. Honestly, I don't like people with those kinds of power fantasies, I secretly have access to tons of power but I don't use it. But that's a load of bull. Anyone with power or access to a lot of power, in regards to cars or otherwise, should use it. You would know that power in the hands of a coward is wasted. Why own a 700 horsepower car, or like a Hellcat for example, and just have it sit in a garage and look pretty all year? Even the most immaculate of garage queens should still see the light of day every now and then. You need to use the power, enjoy the freaking car. What do you gain by lying about owning a Hellcat other than rude glares and constant sighs? Just bring it if you have it, and if you don't talk like you own one. If you're going to bring a bone stock Civic, don't be ashamed, alright? Park next to our Civic bros and they're gonna accept you. It's only until you start saying, actually, I have a Hellcat, so I'm not really friends with those loser Civic owners. Alright, then bring your Hellcat and park next to the muscle bros. Nah, I just don't have access to it right now. Not only is everyone going to resent you at the meet, the former Civic bros that you've aligned yourself with will resent you the most. They gave you friendship and hospitality, and you have the audacity to call them losers and pretend you're some super secret badass who's too cool for them. Talk about needing an ego check. People who are like this need to just appreciate what they have. The more you lie about your non-existent car, we're not going to think you're cooler. Instead, we're just going to think less of you. Financial idiot. There's no shame in being poor, but plenty of shame who intentionally make themselves poor. These guys are industry suckers. It's no secret that car companies love to milk money out of people who they can milk money out of. Whether it's constantly switching cars every few months or taking massive loans on mods, I can't help but facepalm when these guys tell me that they've gotten 0 down on their 10% APR with their car with 20% APR on all their mods. Imagine not just the car, but also everything on it being owned by the bank. I know being a car guy is oftentimes mean being broke constantly, but I think we should honestly change that. And I want to be someone who preaches otherwise. It's one thing to spend money on your passion, it's another to be blindly going into debt for desire. Desire and passion are two different things, and when desire overpowers passion, it leads to stupid decisions. Let patience rein you in. If you can't afford that mod, don't finance it. Cars are already depreciating assets, and you and I, as fellow car guys, know that mods don't ever increase their values. They're just things we do for our enjoyment, so if you can't afford it currently, wait, you won't regret it. An anecdote I'd like to add to this is, remember a few videos ago when I said that I despise YouTubers who change cars every 6 months? Every fanboy immediately responded, "You're just jealous, you're too poor to live the lifestyle they live." What lifestyle? Being in constant debt over a depreciating asset and going upside down on loans just for content? I'd rather have multiple properties that make money than to have a Lamborghini. Once I've made enough money renting out multiple properties, then I'll go get a Lambo. Even then, let's just throw money completely aside. So for all the fanboys who are still frothing at the mouth, still saying that, money's happiness because of their favorite clickbait flexer told them so, throw that out for now and let's talk about that very emotion, happiness. To me, the real tragedy of keeping a car for 6 months is that you can't fall in love with it. Why would I admire a lifestyle where you constantly switch cars that often? You can't even mod them because you'd always be stressed about its inevitable time of resale. You can never fully learn it because, let's be real, can you really learn a car's limits in 6 months? I'd rather have a single well-built dream car than to constantly change dream cars. You're not even a car owner at that point, you're just a slave to the car industry. Never getting a title of ownership and constantly getting bigger and bigger loans as you keep trading in. Those are the people who most fanboys admire because they don't see the truth behind it. Their favorite clickbaiter doesn't even actually own their supercar, the bank does. So all the blind fanboys can continue calling me jealous all they want. Jealous my ass. If you have an ounce of sense in you, I hope you listen. I want to help you. I'm sick of car guys being used as a punching bag in regards to financial failure. Blind fanboy. Blind fanboy will immediately argue about why Bugatti's better than Koenigsegg. They'll defend their favorite car like a white knight, even though they'll never even own it in their entire life. I know that may sound rather depressing, but hear me out. There are over 7.5 billion people in the world and an extremely limited production of 500 Bugatti Chirons. Almost always, the cars are already spoken for. The owners come from prestigious families that have been in bed with Bugatti for decades. I'm not saying you can't admire the Bugatti and the marvel of engineering it is, because trust me, I do too. But that admiration can quickly become a prison that blinds you from all the other choices in life. Sometimes in order to obtain a dream, you have to shatter it first. I know that feeling painfully too well. So based on my experience, I'll give you all this contradicting piece of advice. Setting realistic goals are the first step to reaching unrealistic ones. Bladed Angel out.